The veteran kicker Mason Crosby set to do the honors here. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
Well, obviously, you never want to fumble, but if you do, good to be towards the sideline. It saves them the possession.
Saves the embarrassment, saves it going down on the play sheet as a turnover. But I still think it should go to the defense, even if they don't recover it. If you give up the football, you gave up the football.
Agree to disagree, I guess.
Can you tell what I play?
Yeah. I'll let you go.
I took a shot.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Right to the air is Jackson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 16 yards on that one, and a Raven first. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it. I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Jackson's throw complete there to Bateman. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 32-yard line. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage. So timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A very solid gain of 27.
Boy, no problems getting down the field here on this opening drive. They've looked really sharp in the early going, and they've come up with some big plays already. Here's another that's going to set up 1st and goal.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
On 2nd down, it's Drake. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. Only a few inches needed on the sneak. He didn't get it, and now it's 4th down. So a decision to be made. Is this something, opening drive maybe they discussed before the game?
They had to, and that's the responsible way of getting ready for a game. You go through situations with your...
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Ravens' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drive goes 8 plays. And the exclamation mark at the end was Kenyon Drake's touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From the 10. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. Here we go with the Packer offense guided by their decorated QB with a long list of Pro Bowls and other accolades next to his name, of course. Aaron Rodgers leading the way.
I remember watching him in college and seeing a guy that you knew had great potential, but I don't know that anyone knew that we would see how he would blossom as an NFL player who will go down as one of the all-time great quarterbacks. Can make every throw from every angle with terrific mobility, and he knows how to win games, always in contention for a championship. Well, they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Rodgers. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
To throw is Rodgers. They're going for Lazard, but this is intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
And I think this is a situation where a quarterback coach on the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and pump the football.
And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. That one good for 13 and a Raven 1st down.
A good run there off right tackle in old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
They go play action with Jackson. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Up the middle they go with Drake. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. Nice pickup, 10 yards and a 1st down on the keeper.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the 1st down. A nice run right there.
Play action. It's Jackson. That'll be complete to Dobbins. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Working with a 2nd and 3. They'll go option to the short side. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Kenyon Drake with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Ravens lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ballgame. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect, and this remains a 13-0 game. 13-0 is the score after. 2nd quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their second drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it, and when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief.
He's got a man, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So they will wave off the flag and let the completion stand.
Really great job by the receiver fighting through all the contact and still coming down with the football. All that great work in practice being put into the game.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Jones. Oh, he's going absolutely nowhere as he is hit behind the line. Now from the 7, here's second and goal. Here's Rodgers to throw. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big third down coming up.
A big play forthcoming. Here's third and goal. Here's Rodgers. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Marcus Peters came screaming in on the corner blitz. Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Ravens are going to get the football back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have with a lot of field behind them, get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
Now a first down carry by Jones.
It was Tyus Bowser that time who made the play on the defensive side.
On second and slant around, he's got Dobbs. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. Now Jones. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. And that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Second down and goal. Rodgers looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jones. And it's a Packers touchdown. Aaron Jones from 4 yards out. And the Packers have got it back to within a score. Crosby with the extra point, and it's now 13-7. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends with a Packers touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Baltimore about ready to go on offense.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal is not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They go play action now. Jackson steps away. And he fires one incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
That's going to be caught. It's James Prochet. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers 39. Give them 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that'll likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. Down inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, 39 yards. And the Ravens will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Jackson here, he's going to look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because in the back of the end zone, never let a guy catch one in front of you.
The Packers with a football here late in this first half.
And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit.
Rodgers now on first down. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half.
This is intercepted.
It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Holding, offense.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
They'll start by running the option to the right. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
2nd and 8 coming up.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it.
And the Packers are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. The one side gets an interception, but their defense comes on the field and picks them right back up by getting a pick of their own.
And I think you saw the same thing that I did, Brandon. As he ran off the field after making that play, we saw his quarterback seek him out and offer a personal thank you.
And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Throwing now is Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey.
And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. Jackson from the shotgun.
And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown.
A great play there in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Ravens would extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. Nixon now from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission.
Looking deep downfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Not too many breaks ahead according to the radar. More snow on the horizon as we are back underway in half number 2.
Taken at the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. And Charles, I mean, look, you don't bench a starter of his caliber, but 4 first-half interceptions. How do you handle it from here?
Well, the easy thing is right away you try and run the football, take some pressure off of him, but you know the defense understands that as well. My second thing is give him throws that are safer, throws that he's confident in, the ones that he likes to make, and that way he try and get his confidence back up.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. From midfield, here's Rodgers.
That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. And this is caught. Touchdown. Randall Cobb. 36 yards.
And the Packers take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points.
Crosby connects on the extra point. Deficit down to 12. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half.
They were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead. It's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure.
Oh, for the third time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked off by Quay Walker. And the Packers are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, third quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one, because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
He's going to launch this deep for Watson.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw complete here on target to Tonyan. He'll get it inside the 20.
It's a big play there for Green Bay. 48 yards. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. On 2nd and goal, Rodgers. And it's a Packers touchdown.
Robert Tonyan from 4 yards out. And the Packers are back within a score.
Now Crosby for the point after. And this is back to a 5-point game. Just a 4-play drive that time.
And it was Robert Tonyan capping it all off on the touchdown grab.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. Still enjoying the lead here in the third quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
This time, Jackson will throw it.
Complete to Likely.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
In this weather, any big play in the passing game, that's just a bonus, right?
It certainly is, but oftentimes offenses think in clement weather plays to their advantage, because you know where you're going on offense. Defenders have to react, and they often slip.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
Jackson will throw again. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and it's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Play action. Now Jackson. A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops and escape this drive.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jackson. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, the great coach has said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush one, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Now a run up the middle with Drake. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And they'll be unable to build here onto their 5-point lead.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers. And he'll let this go deep for Lazard. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. This offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now it's Rodgers powering forward. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Throwing is Rodgers. Tunyon's got it on the out route. Down inside the 10. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A big play there on the catch and run. And it'll give him a fresh set of downs. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Dillon will take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Quite the comeback here. They have erased that deficit, pushed themselves out in front now here in this 4th quarter.
But this game's kind of felt like a horse race, hasn't it, partner? Because you had the other guys run out to their big lead, but then slowly and surely, they've been creeping up and closing that gap. Now they've stuck ahead in front here late in the game. The finish line's not far away. They need their defense to finish this thing off.
They're going to run for it with Jones. And he will not get there. He comes up short. And they're unable to push this lead to a field goal as it'll remain a 1-point game. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the second half. They'll need to change that here. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Jackson. Complete to his running back, Kenyon Drake. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
This pass complete. Jackson finding Andrews. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. To throw again is Jackson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Quay Walker. And the Packers are going to take over at their own 41. Boy, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of 2 halves, won't you?
Right, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened, because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
They'll try and run some clock now with Jones. Marcus Williams from a safety spot, making a nice play. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Rodgers now to throw. Able to find Lazard. Touchdown, Packers. 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers use the big play to extend their 4th quarter lead. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one better than 20 miles an hour. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Take it in at the 3. And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23. And the offense for the Ravens returns to the field. Still plenty of time here in the 4th quarter. Just a 1-possession game, down 8. They'll be looking for the touchdown and 2-point conversion. A field goal here on this drive does very little at this stage. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me, because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go.
On 2nd and 10, Rodgers. And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up 3rd down. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he's fortunate on that one. Not to have another turnover on his ledger.
And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right, but there is a flag down. He might get another shot at this. Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
So a big spot now for Crosby, but he's been here before. This to perhaps salt this one away. And he tugged this one badly. It's no good. Wide left. And this will stay a 1-score game as the lead holds at 8. That one hurts a bit. That was a golden opportunity to possibly put this one on ice, but he comes up empty.
And how big of a miss might that turn out to be? Stay tuned. There's still time left on the clock. This could be critical.
Still a 1-score game. Had he hit that, it would have been 2 scores. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Open man downfield is Duvernay. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. The end result, 21 yards.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the 1st down.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. He finds Bateman over the middle. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. 17 more. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review, and this being inside 2 minutes.
After review of the play,
so the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw, as this play will stand as is. Jackson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides. Every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Here's Jackson. Rolling to his left. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there. Their chance to score points.
But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Isaiah Likely from 10 yards out. And the Ravens have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th.
So they got the touchdown they needed to cut this to 2, but now they've got to get back to the huddle. No celebration time. Got to figure out what they're going to do on the 2-point conversion.
Now Jackson. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Rasul Douglas picks it, and the Ravens are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. So down only 2 now, still a chance to finagle their way into field goal range if they can get this onside kick. And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team.
Illegal touching. Offense.
A big mistake in that spot. You got to let it go 10.
They didn't give themselves a chance. They had an opportunity, touched it first. Now they're in a really bad spot.
Here's a give to Jones. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Ravens have got it.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game, but they were in what was really called 4-minute offense, and that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it. A costly turnover. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, you have to like the play call because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
His throw incomplete. 2-minute drills, they're tough enough, pressure-packed enough, and these elements makes it significantly tougher.
And you don't have the margin where you can say, okay, I can allow for certain things and maybe change up a little bit. Because it's a 2-minute situation, you've got to try and make the same plays you would make if the elements didn't exist.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing, Jackson. And he hits Drake. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. That one goes for 24 yards. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. 4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a 3rd down. They'll try and pound it in with Drake. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages. Charles, that drive was perfect, methodical, executed so well, and they grabbed that lead with almost no time left for a last gasp from the other side.
No way you could have drawn up a better final drive because not only did they keep their eyes on the end zone, They made sure they bled the clock out as well and denied their opponent a chance to respond. That's just terrific situational football to end this one.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And it would appear, barring some late heroics, they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
One final try now for Rodgers. And that is dropped. Oh, my goodness. That could have been a game changer, but he could not hang on. What a game we were treated to in this one. And then on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffered the loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting it to midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could